Welcome to the Today in History channel. In today's video we will talk about the day. January 31, 1958. Launch of Explorer I. In the context of the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union started a space race, which led them to compete to be the first country to put an artificial satellite in orbit and reach the moon. The so-called space race began in 1946, when V-2 rockets, captured from the Nazis, began to be used to measure pressure, density and temperature up to an altitude of 200 kilometers in the atmosphere. Military interest increased and, in mid-1955, the White House announced that the United States Air Force and Armed Forces were working on the Vanguard project to launch satellites from 1958 onwards. This project would evolve into using a Jupiter-C rocket at launch of the Explorer 1 satellite. Explorer 1, officially known as Satellite 1958 Alpha, designed and built by a group of scientists from the University of Iowa led by James Van Allen, was the first U.S. satellite successfully sent into space. It restored the wounded pride of the United States, which had seen the Soviet Union move forward with the launch of Sputnik 1, the first artificial satellite in history, in 1957, not to mention the spectacular failure of the launch of Vanguard TV3 in December 1957, broadcast live on television. After its launch, Explorer 1 was in an orbit with a perimeter of 360 kilometers and apogee of 2,520 kilometers, with a period of 114.9 minutes, and transmitted data until May 1958, when its batteries were definitely depleted, although it has remained in space until March 1970, when it re-entered the atmosphere, disintegrating over the Pacific. Van Allen equipped the space vehicle with a Geiger counter whose objective was to measure the intensity of cosmic rays, the fast ions that arrive from space, and particularly, their variation with the distance to the magnetic equator. Van Allen thus hoped to know the minimum energy range of cosmic rays, particles slow enough to penetrate the full thickness of the atmosphere and reach the ground. Throughout its orbital voyage, the instruments on board made it possible to confirm the existence of the Van Allen belts, which was considered one of the great successes of the International Year of Geophysics. The Explorer program would be developed by NASA from October 1958, and, by 2014, it had more than 85 successful launches. If you like the video of a force subscribing to the channel, like, comment and share. To receive new videos, see you next time.